So, hello and welcome people back to Let's Play Syberia 1 on the original Xbox. And now we're going to pick up the thing that we took last time. Remember?
The thing that we took from outside that you would have to remember to bring in from
Yes.
outside? I actually did remember. Also, just so you know, I know that there isn't a boisterous soundtrack for this section, but in my brain it's
I mean, probably if the whole factory was properly functional, that's what it would sound like.
the Looney Tunes antics that could go on in here when it was all fully operational.
Mm-hmm.
Also, this makes so much sense because that was a part that the people that I was watching didn't do, and they got very stuck later because of that.
Oh yes. And here trying to find where the screen ends. Yes.
Don't you just love when you run back and forth accidentally because the camera angles keep switching on you?
Not that big of a problem here. It holds your direction, and the the loading screens are so big that you just let go of controls anyway.
Mm. This isn't creepy at all.
So we're gonna say hello
If you
to
can find the edge of the screen.
wall.
Nope, not
Not
there.
that part.
You
Not
fool.
that.
No,
Maybe
go.
maybe to
You
the
already tried that.
yes, there.
There you go.
To a new character.
Oh, many thanks indeed. I am most embarrassed for you to see me like this. I lack a certain completion. You see, nobody here found the time to polish off the finishing touches. Honestly, these days, we really have lost the art of good workmanship.
Yeah, maybe.
With whom do I have the honor of speaking? Could you please state your identity, articulating clearly?
My name is Kate. Kate Walker.
Allow me to introduce myself. I am Model XZ2000. My common name is Oscar. I represent the technological zenith of this factory's production. I have been designed to drive a locomotive. A touch messy, but an essential task.
Oh, here comes music.
Yeah, that means we done a thing.
Have you logged my first and last name?
Perfectly. Kate Walker. Pleased to meet you.
Me too, Model XZ 2000.
Please, all my friends call me Oscar. This fad for cryptic names is such a bore. Could you imagine being called by your passport number?
I suppose not, Mr. Oscar. Sir. Do you know where I could find the factory paperwork?
I cannot reply to this question with precision. Try Anna Vorarlberg's office above the machine floor.
When you are complete and totally functional, can you help me gather information about Hans Vorarlberg?
I'm afraid I can't, Kate Walker. Duty calls. Once I've recovered my feet, I have to see to my post on the train. It's waiting for its engineer.
Does the name Hans Vorarlberg mean something to you?
Of course, he created me. But I'm sorry to say that I am yet to meet my maker.
Have you any idea where he might be right now?
No, Kate Walker, but I am sure I would experience great metaphysical satisfaction in his presence.
Oh, God.
You said you were a train engineer? What train would that be?
But Kate Walker, you have not seen the magnificent train waiting at the station?
And where is that train going, Mr. Oscar?
The train is going far away. Very, very far away indeed.
Are you taking any passengers?
My duty is to drive the train. Above all, to avoid delays. An engineer prides himself on punctuality. I will agree with you, though, Kate Walker, that a train without passengers is hardly a train at all.
You haven't answered my question.
For further details, please consult Anna Vorarlberg.
You are a very strange robot.
Automaton, if you please.
I'm sorry, I didn't mean to offend you.
Automatons have an additional soul auxiliary, you understand?
I think so.
I could use a sole auxiliary.
Has it been a long time since you last saw Anna Vorarlberg?
72 hours, 32 minutes, and 20 seconds to be precise. This regrettable absence explains the delay in my production process.
Anna Vorarlberg is dead, Mr. Oscar.
What do you mean by the notion of death, Kate Walker?
Broken. Disactivated. Worn out. Damaged. Unplugged.
Oh, that really is most bothersome. I'd rather counted on finishing my production.
Can I be of use to you?
Why, you certainly can. I absolutely must have my feet. My hands are Model XZ2003. My feet are Model XZ2005_B. Be careful. The Model XZ2005_A has evidenced some rather embarrassing performance failures.
Like bugs?
Automatons do not have bugs, Kate Walker. They simply display functional idiosyncrasies.
I'm sorry, I didn't know. What do I have to do to get you a pair of feet?
Use the assembly line to construct them. You will need a production punch card, on which is recorded my body design data. Here is my own punch card.
Okay, I'll give it a go.
Thank you, Kate Walker.
Yes. So this is what we actually needed to talk to him for. We need to get one of those old computerish punch cards.
Oscar, I am delighted to have met
Oh,
you. See you again soon,
This is-
I hope.
Going to be
Yes,
a great story
Kate
to fill
Walker.
the. So my dad was going to university during the time where those were, what you used,
Mm-hmm.
and he had broken into the computer lab where he was doing his research project after hours when you weren't supposed to be in there.
Yeah.
But they were all out of the paper for making the cards. So what did my resourceful and brilliant father decide to use for paper for making his punch cards?
Was a notebook.
Toilet paper.
It still
Needless to
works.
say, no. The machine got hopelessly jammed, and he had to do a lot of explaining about the fact that he had gunked up their punch card machine.
But, well, I mean, aren't those cards supposed to be like a little bit more
It's
stiff?
jammed.
Yes.
So yeah, kind of no wonder that it didn't work. But yeah, this thing is jammed. We can't get it out quite yet. We need another thing, and we're gonna need to come back here for it later.
Rub everything in your inventory on it first.
Not necessary. Sorry, my Xbox controller was going crazy.
And then she died
Sadly.
writing
And
that
here
note.
we have the design of the train. It actually shows off several of its functions here on the picture
like
that
the flamethrower.
more or less that we don't get to see in this game but in the second one, yes. Oh Franks, this game was made before Euros.
Not too long before, though.
Not too long, like 2 years or so before. Because this was 2002.
Yeah, maybe don't try to make a giant train that has no purpose for your company.
Yeah, that may be one of the problems. Or a robot that's made of cogs.
They all have to be made of cogs, okay? You don't understand.
Oh my
It's an
gosh.
automaton,
Invoices,
not a robot.
invoices, more invoices. I never knew the factory was in such a bad way financially. These last 2 years must have been very hard for Anna Vorarlberg.
Speaking of Oscar, um, I don't really like
Grouch.
his I don't really like his English voice actor because instead of like they kind of forgot to make him sound like a robot beside the filter they put on his voice.
He just sounds like C-3PO.
It's like there is very clearly like
Kate Walker, Skywalker. Come on.
yeah, maybe. But no, like what I mean is he clearly does not speak like a robot. In the Polish version, they actually made his robotic speech really robotic,
Hmm.
and it actually really worked, especially with uh, how stiff he is with some of the later reactions,
Yeah, it
and
doesn't
how
really. It
and how
doesn't
he
really work to have that voice with the supposedly cog-run machines in this era. Doesn't really add up.
hmm
I agree. I think it'd be better to be more robotic or stereotypically robotic.
yeah, exactly. And now the here we are going to make legs. It doesn't really. What I wanted to say is, you put in the punch card, you activate everything you can actually activate and set up that color. I cut out all of my attempts at getting the wrong color because there are several shades that look very grayish. And you can actually sort of guess which wood it is supposed to be based on the pamphlet that you get in the hotel.
How so?
It has a log of wood in the
Oh,
pamphlet,
goodness.
and they say that it is a unique type of wood that they use for the more refined Vorarlberg machines, and it is similar to that shade.
Yeah, but trying to match a color based off of a document from long ago.
Like I said, I've played this game several times, and I get this wrong every time. But I'm also bad with matching colors, so there's that.
Well, yeah, so am I.
So it just remember that it's sort of gray beige-ish, and you will eventually get it.
A little bit cream.
Yes, beige, grayish, cream. You'll get there.
Dude, if you're are you this guy's mother now? I'm giving him life, or at least part of his body.
Well, no, not really.
Here's Mama.
Here are your
Yep.
feet, Oscar. I hope they fit.
Kate Walker, I see you managed to produce 2 XZ2005_B models. allow me to express a real feeling of joy, Kate Walker.
They really suit you. Comfy?
Very. You are very kind, Kate Walker. I am sorry to have to leave you.
Where are you going?
I must find my train. Its departure is imminent.
Follow that
Now,
robot.
if you didn't get the right legs, he would just reject them right here, and you would have to go back to the machine and make some new ones.
So he wouldn't hilariously fall over in a comedic pratfall.
No, it's a bit of a disappointment, but thankfully, it's a good, like the good way of knowing whether you got it right is whether or not that cutscene plays with the bird machine. Because if it doesn't play with the bird machine, it uses just some default wood, and you only get the last bit where the top hat automatons are making the legs.
Well, it's nice that they don't make you watch the whole thing every time.
Well, I mean, you have to know that, like, you still get legs that are useless, and you have no indication whether or not they're right. But if you already played the game or are a little bit more familiar, the right scene is the slightly more grand ones, but at the same, the slightly more grand one, at the same time, how would you know it without having played the game, right?
So if you did it in two different ways and you get the same scene both times, you know those were both wrong.
Like if you, yeah, like for all of the wrong ones, you get the exact same scene. And Oscar sadly does not give you any sort of pointers. He just says, these legs are wrong. Please make another ones. And you have to stuff another pair of legs into your jacket. Yes,
That's
she
where I
was
stuff
holding
all
them
my
in her
legs.
jacket.
Yeah.
It's a little bit of a shame that they don't show her putting it in there, but I guess they do show her pulling it out of
Taking
her
them out,
jacket
yeah.
and giving them to him.